Hey guys, back again. Last video I did was the 7-segment display tutorial. So at the right at the end, I said that I'd made a bigger version of that kind of thing, so a little bit more of a complicated one. So here it is. So although this is before I actually realized you could use commands to change the weather, which you can do by pressing / opens up a little command with a bottom weather space clear. And then you can see it changing to clear weather. Yeah, that was before I knew that, and the rain was getting on my nerves, so I built this giant glass frame around it. Please don't do that. It took me so long, and I missed so many meals just because I was doing this one thing. It was really quite irritating. So yeah, so don't do that. It's just a waste of time. But yeah, so well, I guess if you're doing it in survival mode, you might want to do this if you really want to dig out that amount of sand. But yeah, anyway, so this is exactly the same as the 7-segment, just configured a little bit differently. It's exactly the same mechanics behind it. So if we're just gonna look over here. So in case you didn't see the 7-segment display video, we're just gonna recap how this thing works. So basically, each one of these little levers here represents a particular, output that we want. In the 7-segment display example, this would represent, maybe a 3 or a 5 or an 8 or whatever, like one numerical digit. And to activate it, you actually need to turn this lever off. So the default state is for these to be on. Only turn off one at a time, otherwise you get like overlapping stuff, which obviously looks weird and it's really confusing. So to turn on one, you whack off one of these levers. So you make a little bridge over there, got a nice little redstone thing over. You're probably going to need to put some redstone repeaters in the middle of these orange rails, which over here are the stone rails, just to make sure the signal reaches the end. Then to tell the system which bit of the 7-segment display or which pixel on a display that you want to turn on for that particular number, digit, character, whatever it is, picture maybe, you put a little redstone torch above one of these rails. Each one of these coloured rails represents each pixel or bit of this or segment of the 7-segment display. So for this particular example, when we activate it, it turns on both the pink and the purple. So this could be whatever it is. Then if we turn on this one, turn off the lever, in fact, we only actually want to turn on this one, so it just turns on the pink rail, but not the purple rail. And you can extend that as many times as you want, so you get this massive thing here. At the moment, what we have is a 25-bit display, so it's 5 rows of 5. Each of these coloured rails here represents each pixel of the display. So each batch of 5 is one row. So this is the first row, the bottom row, and then the next row, and the next row, and the next row, and keeps going. And each one of these stone rails represents each character. This is just a lovely one that turns all of them on at once. So you can see all those redstone torches there. That's just a testing one. Make sure there's nothing bad going on up there. So to see an example, I'm going to turn this off. Just see how many red torches we have all there. Oh, look at those redstone torches. How lovely. Yeah, so let's turn on B. So you see all the redstone torches there. You can see a couple of them missed out, obviously there. You can see, obviously, this doesn't just turn all of them on, it turns on specific ones, which represent each pixel of the display. So let's see what it looks like when it's on. Let's fly all the way here. You can see obviously tons of wiring up there. It's absolutely ages, but it is pretty cool. So there we go, there's a display. We have a B. Now, I'm actually basically told the system which one of these pieces of wool to push out. Again, if you probably want to have a look at the 7-segment video to see exactly how this works, but basically I've predetermined which ones of these come out for that B switch, a B lever, by telling it which ones of these pixels to activate by putting those redstone torches along those rails. So this pixel hasn't come on, nor this one, nor this one, nor this one, nor this one, because I didn't put a redstone torch there. These ones have, because I put redstone torches on the rails, above the rails, that correlate with these particular pixels. So if I go back here, just to prove that this thing works to you. So I'm going to turn that one off. Yep, I wasn't lazy, I did do E. There we go. And then all the way we go. we go, yeah, we've got an E. So just with a little careful, placing of the redstone torches, you can pretty much do whatever you want to do with the pixels. You make a giant one of these and do like a whole picture. So once you've got which pixels you want to turn on for each one of these levers, like I've done all sorts of funky stuff here, but you really don't need to do that. Basically, all you need to do is take each one of these pixel rails and attach it to each one of these pistons. Now they're all spaced apart. So behind that, you can see that pink one there. Behind that is actually just a piece of black wall. It's just a spacer, just to make sure that nothing's interfering with each other. So each one of these rails goes into the back of a piston. You can see all the way there, and there's loads of stuff like that. Obviously, it takes quite a bit of space because of the way obviously redstone transmission works. You need to obviously space things out, otherwise it interferes with each other. There are more efficient ways to build this. You see the vertical transmission bit there. There is a more efficient way of doing that. I'll cover that in a different tutorial. But this is just a really, really basic way of doing it. So just each one of these pixel rails attaches to each one of these pistons, which basically is the same as a pixel, and that pushes a piece of wall on the other side over here when it's activated. And remember, the pistons are sticky pistons, not regular pistons, so that when we turn it onto a different lever, different letter, different character, whatever, it pulls the ones that we want off back into the wall and pushes out the ones that we want on out of the wall. So if you see that, just delete that. See, lots of slime there, and now I haven't got any white wool, so I'm going to have to put that back. Oh my god, that's really irritating. It's not called white wool. What am I doing? It's wool. Let's replace that. Bam, bam, bam. And there we go, hunky-dory. So so that's how we do it. Again, don't waste time doing glass walls when you really don't need to. But yeah, this is a pretty simple system. It's just really big. Now the next step would be to do something like multiplex the output of this, so we can have an entire array of characters. So you could do like an entire word, I guess typing it out. The way to do that would be to cycle through a bunch of displays. So say we could probably fit 5 on this massive wall here. A giant mountain blew up before. So you could probably put 5 on there, and you could press one letter, press a button, and it puts that one on, and then switches to the next one, press another button, it switches to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and so on, and then you can have an entire word. And you could probably make that automatic somehow as well. I'll probably do that at some point if I can be bothered. But yeah, so that's how you do a 25-bit display and put lots of characters on it. So that's it for now. See you next time. Bye bye.